Nogggano's the all-round, like, big daddy heavyweight Russian. I don't know how he finds the time to be that good, but he somehow does. They've all got different personalities, these top-level players. But I can't think of any better thing to do down there as to...
Rotate the wheel?
Rotate the wheel!
I have got it just for fun. Just no, the game has now started, so we are going to get into the last game. The last game of King of the Hill Season 2. It's been a great season. Thank you to everybody who has played preemptively to this game happening. It's going to be a pretty epic last game, to be honest. 2 people who have featured prominently in it. Let's waste no time. Hello everybody, and welcome to the very last game of King of the Hill Season 2. It is with a twinge of sadness even, that I announce our blue player. It is J for Jet. He will be playing as the USF from the north side of Nogggano.
And it's with typical over-enthusiasm that I announce the Russian heavyweight champion of the world, Nogggano, playing as the southern Wehrmacht position on the perfect hunting ground for, otherwise known as the Ostia Red, Longorskaya.
Nice.
And I'm Ed.
I'm looking forward to Nogggano, how he shapes up against J for Jet, who just basically steamrolled Love Nest, which is not a common thing. So, yeah, let's see what he can do on a long, drawn-out map with USF.
It's going to be a difficult one. It is a long, drawn-out map. You can play super aggressively on this one from the southern Wehrmacht position if you get your MG far and up into your opponent's face and try and defile their base. Try and keep it PC here, Ed.
And we saw a good cutoff play from the previous OKW player onto a USF cutoff. Now, as Wehrmacht, let's see if they can manage that.
I think one of the interesting things with this, that J for Jet maybe comes out at a disadvantage on, is with Khan. But it's not in the map pool anymore. You probably didn't even play it that many times when it was. So for Love Nest to play that, everything's up in the air. You know, nothing is. You know, it's like it's not a map that you have the just second-hand knowledge. You just go here and do this, and you know, all that kind of mechanism is gone. Whereas for Nogggano right now, I mean, this is a map that he has probably played hundreds. Maybe even like 1,000
He was born
times.
on Longorskaya. That's his house.
Yeah. This is probably avidly fights for things that resemble footpaths near his home.
And the cut-off's open if he wants it.
It is indeed. Yeah, well spotted by Ed there. How the riflemen are coming to mitigate. They're jumping within that circle, the circle of death. In fact, they're ignoring it now, but the MG is in position to help them win that fight, Ed. And we'll build another one, Nogggano. Go for the 2 MG strategy on this map.
That's interesting. We've seen a lot of this multiple MGs in the build today, and I like seeing it, to be honest. It forces people to go for something a bit more creative than just the infantry. They maybe do need to pull out indirect fire, maybe need to pull out upgrades, starting getting things like smoke grenades out. Whoever sees that anymore in the infantry. But you know, it does force people to be a little bit more creative when you go for the support weapons. I like seeing it.
So, just a noob question from me. Does the other infantry give that MG the line of sight to shoot further than they would normally?
Pioneers have a very large sight range, so they would normally maybe sit at the front. You'll see that they can see quite a distance. Now this is a very, very late retreat by Nogggano. He very risks losing these. J for Jet just stands still. I think he should stand still to get high accuracy shots off. In fact, he's going to keep running, and of course when you're moving you're less accurate, so in fact that may have accounted for why that unit didn't go down. It's 50-50. Some people do like to run, they find that's good for them, but
these MGs on retreat now, leading the USF.
There you go, and Grenadiers are in the build once more, so he's continuing to add to his tier 1 army, is Nogggano.
That was a close one.
It was indeed. I can't believe that survived. And he's doing well, is the big Russian. J for Jet's a little bit shell-shocked at the moment, but with USF it's all about getting your light armour on the field to try and rectify the situation. Talking of which, it's the harbinger and beckoner of the first piece of light armour. He can either be the half-track, of course, or the M20. I'll have to wait to see how Jay calls that one.
He's playing pretty well at the moment. Again, got decapped through the centre, so all this kind of effort he's putting on to cap on the sides, it's not really as good as what Nogano's got. Nogano's actually got the territories by his base and is doing huge decaps. So Nogano probably coming out a little bit on top. It's very hard to judge because of this this capping on north. So both players they just haven't got things that belong to them, but they got their opponents. It's the start of a messy game, and whoever starts clearing this up first will come out with the advantage.
I like JFJet's decision to go MG rather than rushing an M20 because he has no way of defending his KotH.
No.
So USF really struggle in the early game with that. So I think that's a good choice.
Nice, very defensive tower mine there on a commonly trafficked area for vehicles. So he's preparing Nogggano for the onslaught. But in the meantime, his opponent JFJ temporarily had double fuel. He's now removed one of them by neutralising that cutoff. But it's still allowing the American to get back in this game in a pretty large way.
Yeah, he's rebuilding well, JFJ. I think probably then saving for the half-track rather than the M20 seems yesterday's news now.
Absolutely. People in the chat asking what the announcement is, please head to gcs2.org and be blown away by what it is we're trying to build, and have fun with that. In the meantime, on the field of Longoskaya, it seems Nogggano has rallied, but JFJ is no slouch himself, and he's doing a good job of mitigating the heavy Russian, working underneath him, and he's going to be looking to try and get out of there. I'm surprised we haven't had any tech yet, though, any armour down from JFJ.
No, it could be a sign that he's going to pick something from a doctrine, or maybe that he's going to bypass the tech altogether. It's a difficult one to predict, really. Maybe he's just waiting for Nogggano to make the first move as austere. If he does bring out something like a half-track or a scout car, then a half-track for USF is a very, very good counter, but you need to see that first.
We are losing a sector.
Indeed, and we've got the Grenadiers jumping in the house there, Riflemen jumping behind the heavy green tractor cover, the best kind, Ed. And it's going to be a bit of a concerted battle. And that's it, Jay's going for it, Dan. He's going for the breakthrough unit. He's spent his fuel, and that's right, he's about to build a 3/4-ton ambulance.
You've seen that video, right, where someone on YouTube, they got the ambulance, they filled it with like paratroopers or something, drove it in, it passes by relatively unnoticed, and suddenly unloads. You've got the Thompson paratroopers.
That's amazing.
It is amazing, yeah. It's real Trojan horse tactics.
That's my dating tactics.
He's locked in a doctrine as well. Is that JFJ? Yeah. Which one is that?
Infantry company.
Oh, that's infantry company.
Yeah, infantry going to give him access to defences and mines, which is the defensive tools that he needs, maybe if his opponent's getting good early game aggression. But also, if he wants to, he can get M19s, which don't require teching. So he can start countering units at range really efficiently, and it's not really going to cost him anything. So it might be a good commander choice.
Dan, if you had 9 of those units and 8 of them upgraded to hang on a sec. No, if you had 10 of them and 9 of them upgraded to 2 M1919s and the other 9 upgraded, the other last one upgraded only to 1, what would you have? You'd have 19 M1919s. that'd be awesome.
19 sections.
I bet Paul has done that before. no Price. I'd love to catch that one.
And what if there were 9 members in the squad and they were all in their teams?
Oh, because he's been hacked the game. Yeah. This MG42 is getting corralled and surrounded. Difficult retreat path there for Nogggano.
You see those M19s are actually already on the squads, so giving away the doctrine choice early. Putting them on echelons, I love this because of the suppression ability. With the M19s, they are much, much better. People use them with bars as well. But yeah, as I say, echelons, they're a utility unit on this stage, and you can actually get really good suppression on models and win engagements. So.
Indeed, and we've got Riflemen posticulating for position right now, and the Grenadiers are having to be the hard rock they break themselves upon, whilst the mortar's built to be the unit that punishes this kind of aggression from JFJ, stops him getting in these cover positions and harassing Nogano's positions.
Another MG from J4Jet. He hasn't seen the mortar yet, so
Pioneer to the rescue.
Blue Echelon Vet 3 though get another guy, don't they?
Yeah, of course,
Squad?
yeah. 5-man squads.
Oh, he's nearly there.
Bit of durability there if he needs it. Damn, this is a difficult game to call, isn't it? It's been a bloody frenetic one so far. The map has been a patchwork quilter, an unsolved jigsaw puzzle of territories.
J4Jet, I think, will want to win this because it'd be the only time he's won a game and then stayed on as king. So it'd be a nice way for him to close out the event. And he's played it a few times.
Does that make him like the winner of Season 2 if he's the king right at the end, after surviving this onslaught?
I think would be
he's a reigning king
to a lot of people.
Yeah, but he's a reigning king. He gets to retire as king. That's pretty cool. Regardless of not winning many games.
If you can beat Lovenest and Nogggano,
let's give it him.
I'll definitely give him
some lot of credit.
Yeah. But I mean, Lovenest today has played out of his skin, to be honest. His Lovenest games are always on point. Say always.
Talking about on point, that mortar. Devastating one of those rifle men. Turning into a rifle. Sludge on the ground.
Well, like this. So if this unit just moves a little bit and the mortar misses, might blow up the telemine and then be very...
Ooh, I see what you're saying there. Could have been a lot worse if it was a little bit closer.
Seen it happen too many times. Gonna be suppressed grenadiers there.
Absolutely.
I think both players, they're struggling for movement right now. And
there's 2 MGs on both sides, isn't there?
yeah, and it creates a weird mechanic. But I think actually Nogggano may probably win just due to having this mortar on the field. Great rifle nade there from Nogggano. Just making sure he tips that engagement to his favour.
Nogggano's showing good controlled aggression. He's moving up with the mortar cover.
Absolutely.
And flanking nicely with his friends. These retreats.
Yeah, he's got to be careful of this, and of course it's in the building as well. You can't really see the health behind that symbol. He's got to be careful. This might be too late. This might be too late. Nogggano, do you see how he preemptively ran to the building there, knowing that they were going to get out? He was ready to jump in the door. So high level predictions going on. It's,
triple cap though for Joe.
Just seeing those M19, seeing the bars just rip through that squad then. 2 mortars now will have been spotted, and still no vehicles on the field. 12 minutes into the game. Don't get to see this too often. It's happening over here. Low health grenadiers. J4Jet, he just doesn't want to push past these lines. I think he's worried about this MG behind the lines.
I was going to say, I think we need some grenades unlocked, no? CSF? Break through these MGs?
I don't know if he's wanting to spend the fuel. Let's have a look what he's gone for. So Major has just come out on the field. He's got 113 fuel, so he's going to go for the Sherman. Yeah, and he's done very well to play without a vehicle.
Double Scott like a boss.
Not against Nogggano. You'd be.
I've been undone by a double Scott. But it doesn't really say much.
You'd be really cheeky if you tried that out. I mean, later on in the game, it's unlikely, I think, that we will see it, but, this artillery, time on target is very good, but also the actual artillery itself. It's like, we watched a game last week with Von Ivan actually building the howitzer, so he could just constantly fire in the base, and a mobile one of those, is very effective. Constantly would make Nogggano focus on microing back in the base, and he'd miss things, and...
it just adds that pressure though, so that's when your base is getting... Can't wait for these rear echelons when they get Vet 3. Giving 2 LMGs.
What have we seen here? Is this the major artillery?
Yeah. Okay. The rear echelons are gone. The Vet 3 dream's gone.
Do they go over here?
Yeah. I think the combined arms with the mortar and
I see.
LMG got them. That's some...
So I could hear something big exploding somewhere. It was actually the major artillery on this house.
Oh yeah.
A good one to clear, really.
The pistols?
Pistols aren't really going to do anything there.
Tom Hanks.
So yeah, it is going to be the Sherman. That's what's currently in the build right now.
Enemy forces are securing our
It's quite unfortunate with the rear echelons going because repairing now is you can't get that double repair going.
Yeah, the repairing is one, and then of course the M19s. They lost M19 on that too, which is a. You don't want to lose those. They're 70 munitions and they're very, very good, especially dealing against Austere, the LMGs.
Can the Austere pick them up if they drop?
They can be dropped, yes.
And have an LMG?
Yes.
Wow. That'd be good.
So not really. Not really. Well, KotH doing really well here still, by the way. So he's just tipped Nogggano down, taken 100 points. Finally, we're seeing. I think this is teching. It's going to be tier 3 for Nogggano. Going to come out a little bit late though to this Sherman, and KotH can get this working quickly and get a lot of value out of it. Maybe switch it to HE rounds and just devastate as much infantry as possible. And he might.
Got about a minute and a half, 2 minutes timing window to go.
Yeah, I mean, he might be able to stunt Nogggano building stuff because Nogggano isn't actually on the amount of fuel to build anything from, well, I think to build the Panther 4 he wants from tier 3 yet. And having the Sherman come out now, he's really going to put him in a tough decision for that build.
Wipe City, I think.
Whoa. Great shot. Great shot. Careful with that AT gun there. That was worth it. He can get out.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because we haven't got minesweepers for KotH. Nogggano hasn't put any cheeky mines here. We've just got one teller there at the moment is all I can see. So KotH needs to be careful. He needs to make sure.
They've got one pilot squad as well. So he's definitely saving for the probably P4 now to combat the Sherman.
I would think, yeah. If you haven't seen it by now, it's probably not going to be the Stug. And I mean, the Stug would be good against the Sherman, but it would keep it at bay mainly. I think he's going to want something that is effective both against infantry, given that they've got the M19s, and tanks, which is the Panzer 4.
So no
Nice
command panther, you reckon? For that defensive stuff.
Surprised. I mean, it didn't really need to repair that tank there where it was. I think he's fearful that perhaps something was already on the field and would chase him down. This could be another wipe, and that's a Grenadier squad down for Nogggano.
Yeah.
Nogano's actually lost 2 squads in the last minute or so.
KotH seems to be finding his groove with this Sherman. Two wipes in that timing window is good.
This is again a late retreat. Nogggano hasn't been able to capitalise on a lot of these, which is unfortunate. And look at that! I love this movement. Trying to get out of the way. Grenadiers are suppressed. That was weird. It was weird that he let them get unsuppressed, because now that means they're able to take it. The rifleman coming over, trying to get a cheeky snipe before they get away with the MG. Could be a good position for the Sherman. He needs to chase it. He needs to make use of this opportunity. Gets his MG back again, just wasting models and manpower from Nogggano.
Good quick reaction.
Yeah, really nice. There we go. There's the second teller. So Hello has been in. It might go off immediately. Oh, isn't that?
The Sixth Sense kicks in.
He needs to be careful. There's only so many shots he can safely take, especially now the Panzer 4 is on the field, but its target isn't going to be chasing that Sherman away. He's comfortable with the AT gun pushing it off. Panzer 4.
The ultimate BM ambo rush.
Yeah.
Going through the left and get the hell out.
Oh, great opening shot. 2 models down. But let's just think about this right now. KotH, he's banked a lot of fuel in this game because he's been playing very well, and he's going for the Jackson. So this tier 3 build, any medium armor that Nogggano has, is going to be countered pretty hard. The one thing that we're relying on at the moment, the Mage is really the only form of indirect fire, and indirect fire is going to have to be placed down in this area. He's going to have to get that unit in there, and then he's going to have to move in. Potentially bad for the Sherman, as it will probably trigger Telemine once again. Look at that.
The mortar bait, come on.
Absolutely. And he's just got to be so careful. Doesn't want to overplay this. There it is. There's the major artillery, just like we were thinking. Oh, but the major's gone now. So this is like one chance to make this work. For now, at least.
Rear echelon and major done.
don't think he's able to make anything of that.
Major artillery seems better this patch. It seemed very slow before.
It's good, yeah. They've given the Major a bit more of a purpose.
Yeah.
Here's the Jackson now. This is where things are going to get difficult for Nogggano.
What do you reckon? Save for Panther or another pack?
Very, very tough to call, honestly. I don't think he'll get massive work out of Tier 3, but then again, it's Nogggano. Nogano's an extremely good player. He's played this many times, played many different strategies and counter strategies, so he will know. He'll know what's best. We have to trust him for that.
And despite the pressure Jay's been putting on, Nogggano's still got quite a healthy VP.
Exactly. I think that's a great way of looking at it, is that Jay is playing a very, very solid game. Again, Sherman is having an incredible game too. He's going to chase it. He's going to chase it.
Yeah.
It is, but Panzer IV quite in place. Brought out a mortar half track as well.
Nice. Using the full induction.
So actually, this is nice because I was just complaining about not having indirect fire, and
Yeah.
it actually brought this on the field in that time. It does. It really fills the gap and needed. It's a really, really good choice for him to do that.
Still no pack Howards though.
No, it's funny because it's funny because it's great. You know,
Yeah.
it's powerful, but it is an investment. It's quite a big investment.
He's got the precinct.
Look at that hit. Look at that hit. 80 gun responds. Jackson shouldn't push too hard. This has Veterancy 1 as well, which means that's target weak point. Can stun any of those tanks and create situations where awesome tank players can come in from Nogggano. It's a really powerful AT gun actually for that ability.
Just knocks out their movement? Or
it does, it stuns them. It stuns them for a period of time, and it can allow you to flank very efficiently, or it'll allow you just to get that extra hit off. And this is a really awful retreat there. Nearly lost out to the mortar.
No. Got suppressed.
Do you know, I almost wouldn't mind too much if he brought the Major back on the field, because it's a really good clearance tool for the centre.
Do you just pay the... Do you have to pay the fuel again?
No, no you don't. No, you just pay for the unit. Got a nice infantry flank coming in here. Sherman's trying to move up through the centre, taking some hits from the AT guns. He's going to force away the MG though. This is a sign that he really needs to go back and heal. There's going to be a Stook coming up on the field as well.
But that mortar half track you mentioned earlier is starting to do work now. It's pushing those MGs back.
It's okay. If anything, it would just shake up the positions of the support weapons, which is really what needs to happen. That's going to be its big purpose. It isn't really going to do much damage. It's not an amazing indirect fire unit. It does have some cool utilities, so you can, for instance, use the White Phosphorus Barrage, which will burn units over time.
And he's got a lot of munitions. He's saving up for that big call-in munitions.
I think so, yeah, I think so.
That could be a game ender. But Nogggano not choosing a Doctrine 21 minutes in. What do you think to that?
If you can play without a Doctrine, don't pick a Doctrine. Doctrine choices, I think, unless you go in with a really predefined strategy that maybe relies on radio intercept or you needing recon, you know, for snipers and things like that, then, you know, I actually really respect when players... That is really unfortunate. Oh my word! Oh!
Never in doubt.
He's been quite lucky twice, you know, to get away from these. But yeah, actually, I have a lot of... I want to say respect, but I think it's a good idea when players do pick the commanders, when it gives them something they need, when it gives them a counter to something, or they can really force a lead. What have we got here? Got telemines.
That's a better position.
Yeah, that's a good position. The fact that he's just building them whenever he gets the chance to, whenever the sight lines open up to him, he is able to. Jackson is... This is interesting. That Panzer IV, this is a good opportunity for it, because the Jackson only needs... J4Jet might have made a little misplay, but the Panzer IV misses, allowing that Jackson to escape. J4Jet pops smoke from the Sherman.
Backed off the stuff.
And look at that, just the vehicles, they can't get around each other, they're just spinning around.
Get him.
Yeah, you need to be really, really careful when you panic reverse everything.
We have lost a peg gun.
Yeah, it's good, but look how bare J4Jet's army looks when he doesn't have the vehicles. It looks like he barely has
Oh, the
anything.
Ambo lived somehow. 1 HP.
SMG, not really sure what the goal with this is. Might be a misclick.
I think it's the.
I think it is. Oh, and it's going to set up as well. This really isn't good. Hitting that retreat button. A nice rifle nade from Nogggano. Actually, do you see the squad was died? Was
got his reward in the end. Wow.
And you've got to wipe one model before it's not worth picking that MG up, so very important there. The AT gun's going to get recrewed as well. The good thing about the Sherman is the Sherman can smoke the AT guns and force the player to ground attack, so it makes a lot of micro effort and helps you just keep engagements tank on tank or tank versus infantry.
And do you miss more in smoke, or has it got a benefit?
You basically have to click on the AT gun, ground attack it, and just hope you're in the right place, and it can just cause confusion. It'll stop it firing automatically, which is the kind of key point. So you've got a player that's not particularly great on micro. Unfortunately, that isn't Nogggano, though. He is great on micro, and he'll still be able to last those engagements. It's a pretty ambitious flank for J4Jet. Even if he makes this, he has got to retreat through 1, 2, 3 telemines through in the centre. So he's got to be damn sure that he's about to get this right.
But he's back tech to get the captain out as well. So
I think maybe he wants AT guns, but, or the Pack Harter. You never know.
Yeah,
you never know.
He's got a good armour composition. For the lack of his infantry, he's making up in armour. Poor ambulance just left as a burning.
I know. It's the state
Did the
of
medics
the
die, I'm guessing?
It's the state of the US medical system right there. It's an active metaphor.
No more Obamacare. Burning ambulance.
One hell of a grenade there. And you see Nogggano, he's trying to actually destroy the MG to stop it getting recapped at any point. Really nice. Look at these grenades being thrown. That's another great one, and he gets the squad wipe this time.
Nice.
And they're doing really, really good damage actually. But nothing is stopping Nogggano with this medium armor push. And one of the things with Longres as well, the elevation. If Axis can get on this hill, they're in a really good position. When you're firing it up, actually it's not so good. But the Jackson goes down, and that starts to spell the end of the game for Jay.
Where did this come from though? Nogggano looked so... Jay had double fuel.
It's
now the mortar. Definitely going under now.
Can he get that last shot? Can he ground attack? I'm gonna try it. And Jay, with his dreams of being the last king of the hill, might be about to throw it away to Nogggano.
And that's why I said it's so hard. It's that consistency of a double win.
Yeah, and now he's just pinned in his base. He's got an AT gun, fine, but you know it's Nogggano that has the 2 mortars. One of them's Vet 3 now. The range on that, the fire rate is going to be huge. More squads being wiped, I reckon, any second now. J4Jet is going to throw down the towel.
Very impressive play from Nogggano.
Yeah. There we go, GG. The final King of the Hill.
Yeah, well played both.
Alright, good game, and that concludes King of the Hill Season 2. Thanks again to the players, and thanks again to you for both watching and contributing. If you weren't here earlier, there was a big announcement about what's coming up in Company of Heroes 2 for this year, as well as some other events popping around. The big thing is going to be Grand Championship Series 2, and we seem to have already hit an outstanding level of support for that already.
And that's the current total has got 9 donations yet to jump. We actually hit I've got to verify my PayPal account very quickly, but don't worry. If you've been donating whilst that game's been on, your donation is in flux. It'll go through. Don't worry. We've been smashing it on the support, and I've expected nothing less. This is going to be an unparalleled event in Coming Heroes 2 history, and one big part of that makes it all possible is Ed and his brother's studio is off the chain. It's awesome.
Hopefully, yeah,
it's
all good. It's big enough to fit your ego into.
Oh, well, definitely.
We're all set.
Hopefully all of us, though, it's going to be a...
Yeah, looking forward to it. And then, so fantastic support from everyone. Awesome play from the top players just in this, ending off the King of the Hill. Can't wait to see more of it in the qualifiers. Epic. That's the next step now.
It is the next step, so we're going to
have to get practicing.
That's it. It's going to be awesome. 4 huge qualifying tournaments giving 8 players an amazing chance to play live in esports caliber conditions, and fans a cool opportunity to see just so much great entertainment over the summer in this September. So thanks for your donations. I'm going to be taking Ed back to the train station now. He's got home to go to.
Yeah, it's been a great weekend.
And I'll be popping on the stream later, just so we can Q&A maybe if you want to ask any questions about the future of this tournament and the project. Massive thanks to Ed, Dan, and Jan252 as well. You're a legend. Thank you all in the community, and thank you for a great season of King of the Hill, Dan.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you guys.
Well done, both.
All right. With that, I guess we'll play out the trailer.
What a great way to end it.
Cheers all.
See you guys.
See you all.